Welcome to this video. I just wanted to make a quick update on our market structure indicator. We've actually made some nice quality of life and additions to it. For example, if you come here, this is our market structure indicator. You can right click on it, and now we've added the functionality of alerts. So if you come here, you can see what type of alerts you can do. You can do whenever it crosses a short-term high or low, whenever it crosses an intermediate term high or low, whenever it crosses a long-term high or low, and more important ones, well, they're all important, but it just depends what part of the model that I taught you guys you want to be getting alerted on, and these are the really cool ones. We've added confirmations for the intermediate and confirmations for the long term. Now, we didn't add confirmations for the short term. If people ask for it, I guess we can add it, but we saw no need for it at all because we'll never be trading a short term, right? It's always either a short term getting rated, or a short term turning into an intermediate or something like that. Okay, now when you do want to get alerted on these confirmed intermediates and confirmed long terms, you do want to make sure when you go to the indicator right here that these two lines are checked. Okay, so just always keep those lines checked, and also you need to make sure that the lines are showing on the chart, because if not, then I've noticed that the alerts, it doesn't recognize it as any lines. So when you're setting up the alerts, just make sure that you have the lines on. If you don't like having that many lines in your chart, I never have my short-term lines on, and we're not going to set up short-terms anyway. But if you don't like having that many lines on, just after you set up the alerts for that specific coin or currency or stock, feel free to then just uncheck it again. And of course, you can mess around with the colors. I like to keep mine in double blues and double red. That's all up to you guys. So I like to mess around with this, make mine solid, and then I like to come here, and I always show my intermediate and my long terms. Again, for those of you that watched the sorry, it's this right here. For those of you that watched the buy and sell model video, sorry, I'm a little distracted here. For those of you that saw the buy and sell model video, then you'll know that I really want to start my models. You can see right here, anytime you raid an intermediate high that has the potential, if you get any rejection, any confirmations in price and stuff like that, to go ahead and start forming the high. Well, wouldn't you know it, a short-term high made this right here an intermediate, and we can quickly just test that. If we come here, we can quickly see right there. So it raids it, and now we're waiting for, again, obviously you can short here if you want to get aggressive on the trade, but then right here, you can see right here, boom, turns into a short term. Now we want to see, does it turn into an intermediate? If it does, then we want to seriously think about this. There you go. And you can see right here, there's actually a really cool tool that we have here. So we have the table. You can put it wherever you want on the screen, but basically it tells you the bias on the last swing, right? So if the last long term was a low, then it'll tell you you're bullish, right? Because in that case, you want to be looking for short-term lows, some sort of liquidity lows, for the buy models to complete. For the intermediate, it tells you it's bearish, right? So that way we know the last one rated was a high, right? Or sorry, right here, the last one created was a short term. And then for neutral, when it's got two of them on the same candle, it'll get confused, so it'll just say neutral. We made it that way. But yeah, as you guys can see right here, we had a nice beautiful drop, but that's still not the full model, right? The full model is when this turns into a long term. So we want to see this turn bearish. Now if we fast forward some more, let's see, again, what we're looking for is this phase 3 retracement, and then, yep, let's see if it gives it to us. I mean, it has to give it to us, right? We know that's a long-term high. So if we come here, there you go. We would have to wait a little bit longer, but the idea is that then, you get alerted when either this candle right here turns into an intermediate, or when you raid some sort of long-term or short-term, right? So you can also get alerted when this short-term right here is being rated. Just remember, like I said before, you have to check the line, and then you have to add it crossing short-term. Now, one piece of advice I will give you guys is to do once per bar close. That will make sure that the alerts don't repaint, right? Because basically the way it works is that you're getting the alert. So right here, let me go back to this example here. So if we go back to this, you're getting the alert. There you go. You're getting the alert at the open of this candle, right? So now it's a short term. But let's just say this candle went straight up, then it would invalidate that, right? So if I put the alert to be once per bar closed, then I won't have that problem of the repainting. But just know that you will be getting the alert just a tad bit late, because who knows, right? This candle could just expand straight down. So sometimes, depending what I'm trying to do, if I'm doing crossing alerts, I don't care about the candle having to close, because I'm smart enough, to see that it's closing above. But if I'm doing a confirmed, right? So if I'm doing the short term turning into an intermediate, or this intermediate here turning into a long term like it did here, then you likely want to do confirmed, unless you can keep in your mind every single time, hey, this candle still has to close above a certain level, right? Because if not, I've seen it many times, especially in the lower time frames, where that second candle that is going to be the confirmation candle to make the statement true, then ends up just going straight the opposite way, and it invalidates that specific alert that came through. So keep that in mind. And yeah, guys, this is the update that we had. It's pretty exciting. Now you don't have to wait in front of your computer and just be sitting there waiting for the parts of the models to happen. If you want to trade liquidities, then just set the alerts for that specific time, for that specific swing of the liquidity you want, either the short term, intermediate, or long term. If you want to trade with more of a confirmation, then you wait for the confirmed ones, right? So then you'll always just wait and see, when does this turn into an intermediate, when does this turn into a long term. So for example, this one right here, Ethereum, this turned into a long term once this was created here, right? So that means that you would have been taking the trade. If you're waiting for the candle bar close, you take the trade here, right? That's 65% rally. If I'm waiting for the candle, the minute it opens, then I'm taking the trade right here, right? So there you have it, guys. That's something I wanted to show you. Feel free to let me know your feedback. For those of you that do have the indicator, just make sure you add it back to your chart so you can see the new updates. And we'll talk soon. Peace.